The Myrtle Beach Sun News investigative team published an eye-opening expose on the City of Myrtle Beach and how it is financing a downtown theater through historic tax credits. Is Myrtle Beach running a shadow government? More than $22 million is being spent on a new theater for CCU in downtown Myrtle Beach. State and federal tax credits worth at least $4.9 million are the goal. The money comes from a nonprofit called Myrtle Beach Downtown Redevelopment Corporation, which is muddled with a web of private LLCs. Politicians, nonprofit experts, and state employees in Columbia seem astonished when asked simple questions about the structure. They have never heard of such a thing before. Sam Aarons, an analyst with the South Carolina Policy Council, said that just because the city appears to be able to structure the project this way doesn't mean it should. This whole structure is very confusing, he said. I would say it is intentionally vague at the very least. As part of a city-owned nonprofit, taxpayer-funded employees will volunteer their time to build a new downtown Myrtle Beach theater. The theater is primarily for Coastal Carolina University students. According to records, the university is not contributing to the theater's construction costs, but rather will sublease it from the city. A week earlier, Michelle Schumpert, the city's chief financial officer, and Meredith Denari, the city's spokeswoman, explained all of these financial details in a wood-paneled conference room at City Hall. Schumpert said, "This is how municipalities can obtain tax credits by using a tool. Currently, the system does not allow governments to apply for and receive these tax credits, and nonprofits are not set up as quasi-governments. Using nonprofits and LLCs as part of that tool leaves taxpayers in the dark about what's really going on. What kind of government operation is actually going on in Myrtle Beach?" According to the Council on Foreign Relations, private citizens or organizations are the ones actually making government decisions, not publicly elected officials. Our government seems to be run by high-level bureaucrats nestled atop government agencies rather than our visible elected officials. According to Michelle Schumpert, the nonprofit she volunteers for with Assistant City Manager Brian Tucker owns the first LLC, which then owns the second LLC. All roads lead back to high-ranking city employees within this complex financial map for the new theater in Myrtle Beach. The total cost of the project, including everything, is estimated to be closer to $31 million, according to City Council member Bill McClure. McClure said he divided that number by the number of square feet that the theater and two storefronts next to it would have, and he thought the total was high. The Sun News requested comment on the theater's financing from State Senator Luke Rankin and House Rep Thomas Case Britton. Stephen Goldfinch, Rankin's fellow state senator, said he didn't want to comment on something he had no knowledge of, the theater's funding. "I don't know anything about the structure, the theater, or how they structured anything," he said, "so I can't comment." One of the most straightforward questions about this project, which no one outside the city of Myrtle Beach can answer, is whether it's legal. Shannon Wiley, Public Information Director and General Counsel at the South Carolina Secretary of State's office, said this structure is new to her. Wiley explained that accessing the bylaws as public records is tricky. It is possible that a nonprofit may be subject to the Freedom of Information Act if it receives public funds, but that would require a court's determination. There is no record of whether the Myrtle Beach Downtown Redevelopment Corporation has received public funding, but if not, that would not be public information. Upon being told by board member Jenny Halstead that the bylaws were public, Assistant City Manager Brian Tucker directed the request to the city's new FOIA paralegal, Agatha Palaio. Tucker wrote in his email, "I've requested. I'm treating this as a FOIA to ensure we don't lose track of your request." Despite not being listed on the Downtown Redevelopment Corporation board, Palaio is paid by the city. In the United States, private nonprofits are not required to release their meeting minutes under federal law.